Kia ora tātou and welcome to Te Piringa Faculty of Law Orientation webinar. My name is Leanna Kaiwai. I'm the Māori Liaison Coordinator for the Faculty of Law.
And I'm Impoli. I'm one of the law librarians.
So first of all, we'd like to welcome you to the Faculty of Law. On the screen here you can see our Dean, Professor Alpana Roy, who is the Dean of the Faculty. She also sends her welcome to all of our new law students. We are founded on three principles here at Te Piringa Faculty of Law, those three principles being professionalism, biculturalism, and law in context. There is a direct entry into this law school, which is different to the other 5 law schools. So from the day that you enroll, you are part of our law school. We want you to succeed. We want collaboration. So we're not in competition with each other, or you're not in competition with your colleagues. We also take a look at Māori jurisprudence throughout the degree, as well as non-Māori jurisprudence. Most of the courses here at Te Piringa will have some Māori element to them through all the papers, and this makes us unique amongst the other 5 law schools. There are a number of opportunities that can be taken at our law school. We have guest lectures from national and international jurists, judges, our senior colleagues in the profession and internationally. We have student exchanges with other universities in Europe, Asia, and North America. There are internships and work placements. We have student associations, which we will touch on later on in the webinar. There are mentoring programs, a number of them, to offer support to all students throughout their time at Te Piringa. You've got opportunities to act as a class representative in each paper that you take, and there are opportunities for students to sit on the various university and faculty boards and committees. So these opportunities are here for you to develop your soft skills while you're at law school, and to give you some extra experience while you're here.
And it look on your CV as well, to be fair.
Absolutely. So we're located in N Block, otherwise known as the Law Building. It is on Hillcrest Road at Gate 7. And you can pop in there and see our admin team, and your lecturers will be based here as well. We have a number of student lounges that you can use at any time during your time at law school. And these lounges have tables and chairs. They have, some of them have kitchenettes and fridges. They've got hot water if you want to make your lunch. So couches, there's spaces for you to relax and study, and these spaces are specifically designed for our students to come in, take some time off. We also have a state-of-the-art Moot court, which is on the Hamilton campus. It is in the Faculty of Law, so feel free to come in and ask our receptionist at the front desk if you can have a look. If you are taking Legal 104 this trimester, you will be doing a Moot, and it will be in our Moot court. So for those who aren't familiar, a Moot court is a mock court, and all of the furniture you can see in the photo, which are in the Moot court, comes from the courts in Manukau when they did So we have an actual Moot court. It does get used for other things as well, but
it just reminds me to law our decision sometimes, doesn't it?
Not only do we run our law Moot and advocacy papers out of the Moot court, but you will also see Moot competitions, and we'll get into that a bit later on as well. So here up on the screen here is our faculty administration team. They're going to be key team members for you as students throughout your time. We've got Jo Smith, who is our law receptionist. You'll see her on the front desk when you walk in to N Block. Sarab Nagral, who is the senior student advisor for law. He is also in the law faculty. You've got myself there, the Māori Liaison Coordinator. And then you have Renee Lawson and Helen Bastian, who are the program administrators. papers. You'll get to know these faces a bit better when you're coming onto campus or you call into the law faculty, but this is your admin team and you can feel free to ask us anything you need, and I suspect that that will be for a couple of weeks at least. You're going to ask a lot of questions and that's just fine with us. So that's your faculty admin team. Next up we have Moodle. So if you're not already familiar with Moodle, this is a depository where all of your paper information is kept. So once you're enrolled into a paper, you log into Moodle and you can see all of the information about your paper, including a paper outline, any upcoming assessments, the tutorial setup, that sort of thing.
And sometimes I even put the PowerPoint slides up and stuff in there as well.
Absolutely.
So it's, really, you do need to keep a bit of an eye on the Moodle thing for your various papers.
Yeah, so your lecturers will most likely communicate with you through Moodle, and that should go through to your student email as well. So it's good to keep an eye on your Moodle, to check there if you have any questions. Your paper outline is going to have all of the information about your lectures, the classes, class times, what you can expect from the content of that paper, all of that sort of thing. So, but if in doubt, like I said, feel free to come up to your admin team and ask questions. For each year 1 to year 2 paper, you will have a tutorial or a workshop. These have to be, you've got to register for them, you've got to sign up for those via Moodle. And these tutorials are not every week for most papers. Some of them are every other week, and that will be outlined in your paper outline on Moodle. So those open up next week, and you can choose the time and day that suits you. And once you've logged in your tutorial, that's the tutorial that you'll be attending for the rest of the trimester or for the rest of the year. If you need to change, you must email law.reception@waikato.ac.nz just to let our team know that you're changing out of one and into another. And just keep in mind that we need to know what tutorial you're going to be changing into as well. So there are max numbers that we can have. A tutorial is a smaller class. So you'll typically have maybe 150 students in your lecture for first year and second year, and then you'll break off into smaller tutorials made up of around 35 students. And so some of those tutorials and workshops are going to be at max. So it is a good idea to make sure that you sign up as early as you can to secure that tutorial for yourself. Signing up is as easy as going onto Moodle, and there will be a drop-down menu where you have the option to choose your tutorial time and date. If in doubt, come in and see us in the law faculty, or call the faculty and have a chat with Joe or any one of us, and we can help you out. So your course materials are a set of information. They're readings, often cases or other readings that are necessary for your learning throughout your paper. For year 1, all of those course materials are now available online, I believe.
Yep, textbooks online, and obviously the style guides online as well.
Yeah, so your course materials are outlined in your paper outline, and again, your paper outline runs through all of the necessary information for your paper, your convener information, the readings that you need to do, and timeline of when you're touching on each subject. You can find that on Moodle as well. But if you pop into your paper outline, scroll down to your required and recommended readings, it'll outline the readings that you have for that paper or what you need to have access to. And like Em said, for year 1, they're all online.
Those 2 things are both online. And in fact, if you're having trouble finding them, just get in touch with us, because we have found them a billion times, so we just know where they are.
So one book that I think is you're going to need for the rest of your time here at law school is the Law Style Guide. So you're going to notice that that's an unnecessary reading for a required reading for each of your papers. As a recently graduated law student, I found that I used that very well during my time at law school, and it is something that I prefer to have hard copy, so you can buy that at a bookstore here on campus, but it is available online for free. So I prefer hard copy, but I know students who prefer it online. It's easy to access, and both options are available to you.
Yeah, because I've studied as well and I'm cheap, so I did use the online version. So like I said, as Leona was saying, some students definitely prefer the print version and others definitely prefer the online. So just do whatever works for you.
There's your course materials. The Catalogue of Papers is on the main website, and you can access this to check out all of the papers that are available at the university at any point during the year. This is also a good place if you can't find your paper outline in Moodle. Come onto the Catalogue of Papers, search using either the paper code or a title, and you can bring up the information about your paper that way. And that's another good way to check out things like your paper outline, the dates for the course, what's to be expected, fees, and it also has links to a weekly schedule of activities, and that's going to show you when your lectures are in each week, when your tutorials for each stream are available, and that's how I would personally go in to check out what tutorial I want to take. So your timetable is available on my Waikato, I believe. Your classes are going to start next week, Monday, which is very exciting. The lectures are going to be made available online a few hours after the lectures take place. Now, as I'm sure you're all aware by now, the COVID-19 situation has changed how we do things. And so the lectures are going to be available online for you, and your workshops and tutorials will be available, offered in a blended method. So you'll have on-campus tutorials and workshops, but there will be an option to do that online as well. And so the information that you're seeing, that's under normal circumstances, but the special circumstances that we're under right now is that you'll have all of your lectures online. Yeah, and so your morning classes, your morning lectures and tutorials would normally commence on the hour. So they'll start on the hour and then they'll finish 10 minutes to the hour. So if it starts at 8, if it's a 1-hour lecture or tutorial, it'll start at 8 and finish at 10 to 9. Now this would normally give you time to pack up, get yourself across campus to your next room or to your next class. And obviously that's not going to be an issue for you online, but just to be aware that this is still how we do things here at university.
And it's certainly how the tutorials operate too.
Absolutely, yeah.
You are doing those in person.
Mm-hmm. And then your afternoon classes operate slightly differently. They'll start 10 past the hour and they'll finish on the hour, whatever that is. If your lectures are 2 or more hours long, there is normally a break partway through, and that can be up to your lecturer at what point that break will be. So your teaching rooms are going to be located at different places around the university. Generally speaking, we don't do a lot of teaching in N block, which is that law building, but most of your lectures will take place when they're back on campus in L block or S block. So again, right now, we don't have to worry about those lecture rooms because lectures are going to be available online, but normally most of your lectures will take place in L block or S block, and they are buildings right in the middle of campus.
And the tutorials tend to take place anywhere around campus actually, so just be a bit aware of that you are looking at tutorial times, that you actually know where the building is, because I always get lost in that terrible education building.
Yeah. So there is a campus map available online if you ever get stuck. I know I've used it many times, and there will be a campus map at the end of these slides, so you'll have access to that as well. If you change your mind, which happens, or if you're unsure about a paper and you want to withdraw, you have a specific amount of time, 2 weeks to be exact, to withdraw out of the paper before you incur fees. Any changes after the second Friday of the trimester, that's 5 p.m. on the second Friday, changes after that may incur a fee, the paper fee, and you do have to apply for withdrawal and supply evidence for it. So you've got until the 24th of July to change your enrolment if you decide it's not for you. But please, I encourage you to come and have a chat with us. Any one of those admin team members, come and have a chat with us about your options, the implications of any changes that you want to make, and we'll see if we can help you out before you have to do anything like that. So there's a link here in this PowerPoint which has more information about your change of enrolment. Here at the University of Waikato and at Te Piringa Faculty of Law, we have what's called special considerations. It is a form or an application used for tests, whether in class or online, where you've been impacted by something and that has impaired your ability to sit the test, or that you've missed it completely. Now, these applications, a special consideration application has to be made within 72 hours of the time of the test. So within a few days following the test, if there have been special circumstances where it's impacted your ability to sit the test, we encourage you to please submit a special consideration. The forms can be found on the student landing page on the main website under forms, and that has to be filled out and sent to law.reception@waikato.ac.nz with all of your evidence. So you must provide evidence to support your application. There isn't any set rule for evidence, but to give you an example, if you have a bereavement in the family and that's caused you to miss a test, or you've got impaired performance in a test, what we might ask you to supply is a copy of the death notice or death certificate or something to indicate that that was your situation at the time. We understand though that that's obviously on a case-by-case basis, so whatever the situation, if you can provide some evidence, that will definitely help your application out, and it will help our admin team to process them as well. There are two options, like I said, impaired and missed test. So you'll have all of that information on your form. Once that has been submitted, our team gets to work with sending that off to whoever needs to consider it, and often that's your paper convener. Once they have an outcome, students will be notified by email. So you'll be told of the outcome of your application as soon as our convener is advised, just the admin team. You also have what we call extensions. So if you, for whatever reason, are unable to complete your assessment by the due date, you have the option to apply for an extension. Now these are, again, there are a range of reasons why you might need an extension, and these also require you to submit some evidence for that reason. The difference with an extension is that you must apply for the extension prior to the due date. So the extension request cannot be processed after a due date has passed. So if you've got a situation and you think, oh, I can't finish this by the due date, by Friday, let's say whatever it is, then please apply for an extension. Submit that again to law.reception@waikato.ac.nz with your evidence, and then that will be considered by our Associate Dean Undergraduate. Her name is Jennifer Campion. She'll consider the application, advise our admin team, who will then advise the students about the outcome. But please, we do encourage you to apply for either an extension or special consideration if it applies. To find out other information about the Faculty of Law, to stay in touch, we have a Facebook page. If you haven't already, please go ahead and like and follow Te Piringa Faculty of Law on Facebook. All of the events, scholarships, employment opportunities get uploaded to that page. You can also update your information by My Waikato, by logging into My Waikato and updating it, or finding out more by coming into the law faculty or popping into the student centre, which is in the library on level 2. So all of those places you can ask out. So we have law student associations here at the Faculty of Law. We have 4 officially part of the Faculty of Law, those student associations are the Pacific Law Students Association, affectionately known as PILSA, the Whakahiapo, the Māori Law Students Association, affectionately known as TDUB. We have the Women in Law Association, also known as WILA, and you have WALSA, which is the Waikato University Law Students Association. That's it. And so you are welcome to come along and join any of those student associations. They are led by students, for students. They run different events. They run law school competitions. They run networking events. And so it's a great way to, I like to call it, to find your family on campus. These are your seniors often and your colleagues. They're going to be able to offer you some insight into being a student at law school, offer you that support that we all look for when we're struggling to get an assignment done. And so they have various different opportunities for you. I highly encourage anyone interested to join the student associations. You can find them on Facebook. And you can also find them on our university website by typing in their name or going into the Te Piringa Faculty of Law portion of the website. But yes, I highly recommend you joining any one or if not all of those groups. So now the library.
And now it's over to me. Okay, so obviously, as I said before, I'm Em and I'm one of the law librarians. We live up on level 4 at the Student Centre. Now, there used to be a reference desk up on level 4, but there isn't going to be one anymore all the time. However, you can always get in touch with us via email or and make appointments to catch up with one-on-one. And we're hoping to have drop-in sessions over in the law school as well, although I'm not sure if your section knows that yet, but we are. So yeah, we're generally fairly available, but it does often pay just to, if you really need to pin us down, to get in touch with us in advance, just in case one of us is sick and one of us was at meetings or whatever. But yeah, we do love to hear from you, so feel free to hit us up. And that is the library's law portal page. It has our contact details. The page actually has a bit of a facelift in the last few days, so you may notice it looks a bit different to what it does there. And if you're doing Legal 104, then you'll get a lot of this again in the first lecture, so I do apologise in advance. Although you probably get sort of updated looks at the pages and stuff. But off our law portal page, we have things like links to the style guide, links to the Faculty of Law's homepage and the law student homepage, a direct way of searching our library resources, contact details for us, there's me, and there's also my colleague Caroline Taylor, whose contact details are on the actual current portal, links directly into databases and some key resources. So it's a really good little one-stop shop for lots of essential library stuff. And if we're not there at night or whatever, it's quite a good place to start. The library has an online orientation because, I mean, our library is super complex. There's floors all over the place. It's staffed by lots of different people and everyone's always vaguely confused by it. But yeah, there's a really good virtual tour that you can take and the link's there. And it will give you a really good idea about what's available, and also just get in touch with us because we can also tell you where things are, and we're happy to give you little bespoke tours of the law library and things like that as well, for either one-on-one or get a bunch of people together and we can whip you around. And also the other thing I might want to mention is as you go into the Student Centre, there's a little tiny library front desk, and that's where you do things like pay your fines and ask about when your books are due back and all that sort of thing. That's the team that deals with all that sort of stuff. And they're really super friendly, and they're actually available all of the hours that the library is open, unlike us, because Caroline and I only work normal business hours. However, full collections always work whenever the library is open. So they're more available than us in some ways for like that sort of thing. On the other thing is that there are a suite of computers in the east wing of the library, and they're available 24/7, and your student ID card will give you 24/7 access to that. So yeah, if you want to do something in the middle of the night, come to the library, you'll be able to let yourself in and sit and do your assignment in peace. So yeah, there's contact details there. You can book a one-on-one session with me or actually Caroline as well. We'll be offering training sessions throughout the semester, probably via Zoom, given that this current state of COVID-19 stuff, we don't know whether people will be feeling particularly inclined towards coming on campus, and especially in the middle of winter when it's raining and dumb. So yeah, keep an eye out for those. They'll be listed on the main library homepage, and we might actually put them on the library Facebook page and possibly on the law school page as well.
Wonderful.
Yeah, or does that really you?
I know, that would be me.
Okay, yeah.
So on the screen here, you can see the law student homepage. This is accessible from the university's main page by typing in Te Piringa and then popping down on the left-hand side to current students. You can see all of the information that is relevant for you, and this is also where you would find forms for those special consideration applications and extension applications. On this page, you'll also find the assignment template. So all of your assessments or your assignments for law, there are templates that you need to put your work into when you submit, and this is going to have your front cover where you put all of your information, your student ID, the paper, the stream, and all of that sort of thing. It's also going to have the margins. So that is something that's going to be explained to you in your first couple of weeks, but there are particular ways that our assessments get handed in, and that template on this homepage is, I would recommend saving it as a blank kind of template onto your device, and then using that every time you start a new assessment. It just makes it so much easier.
I recommend that too. As someone who's studying here, that's literally what I do.
Yeah.
And it's really good because it has all the margins and stuff sorted out, here's your paint, the stupid line spacing, here's the font sizes. Yeah. So that's all good to go. You don't have to worry about that each time you do an assignment.
Yeah, that's right. So, but if you, like me, lost your copy or saved it under something else, it's always available here on this landing page. So this page is for you. On the right-hand side there under quick links, again, you're going to have quick links out to different portals that will come in handy for you at different points of your studies. I don't think there's anything else on this page we need to speak to.
No, not really. No, I mean, yeah, it is a really handy page though. That's why it's linked from the law library portal as well, just because I'm always going to it for stuff.
Yes.
Actually, one thing that I do go here for a lot is past exam papers.
Yes.
I don't think Method doesn't have an exam anymore, but it used to in the back of the day. But some of your second and third year papers will have exams. And if you want to look at old exam papers, that's where you come.
It's very helpful for those of you starting at level 200 or 300. It's very helpful to help yourself prepare based on other exams and what you can expect from other exams. But again, if you're in touch with the support team like myself, or your student associations where your senior law student, your colleagues, they'll have all of the tips and tricks to help you get through your study. So please stay in touch with us. Last but not least is a map of the Hamilton campus, which is where our law faculty is based. In the bottom right hand corner, you can see a red arrow that's pointing to N Block, which is the law faculty that's sitting on Hillcrest Road. So if you ever need to find myself or any of your admin team and support your academics, they will be based in that law faculty. Yeah, and so I think that's all I needed to say.
Yeah, it's pretty much all I need to say as well. But yeah, get in touch with us. Like in terms of library staff, Caroline and I are always happy to help out with stuff, and the admin team are amazing. And so they'll totally be able to sort you out for anything else. Yeah.
So if you have any questions, just pop them into an email, send them through to law.reception@waikato.ac.nz. And I can't see any questions in the chat, so I think that's us. Thank you so much for joining.
See you later.
See ya.